How much rides on the Notre Dame game this weekend for NC State?
Great question.
Is week 2 already one of those pivot point, giant sliding door moments for NC State? And I'll tell you why I ask. So shout out to David Hale, ESPN college football reporter, University of Delaware grad, as am I. So, hey, there we go. He's interviewing, and along with Andrea Adelson, interviewing Brennan Armstrong. And the video's online, and I'm like, hey, my guy, Delaware guy, Brennan Armstrong, I'm going to watch this interview. And it's like 7 minutes long. So I click play, settle in to watch. And right out the gate, it's like 30 seconds in, the second question, Brennan Armstrong just casually throws out during this interview that it seems like State's season will go one of two ways based on this weekend's game against Notre Dame. And the casualness of a statement like that caught me. I'm like, wow, it's a pretty big thing to say, right? Just, yeah, our season's going to go one of two ways based on the outcome this weekend in week 2. I don't think he realized how high that is raising the stakes of this game. To imply that losing, potentially, to a top 10 team in the country in week 2 would have a major impact on the rest of your season is a big statement because it pretty much only affects your goals if you think your goals are to win a national championship. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. To me, if you win the game, it can put you on a different trajectory. If you win a game, it keeps you alive for pretty much everything. But if you lose, there's still 100 different paths your season can go. You can still win the ACC if you lose this weekend. You can still make a big-time bowl, a New Year's Six bowl. You can still make, a ton of waves in the postseason if you lose this weekend. You can, and by the way, the others, you could also finish dead last in the ACC still. There's 100 different ways that could go if you lose. If you win, you open up maybe a top tier, in college football playoff suddenly, you have a top 10 win.
Well, just also on the flip side of that, even if you do win this game of your NC State, that doesn't guarantee the rest of your season is going to be great.
Very true. It opens up maybe a slightly higher ceiling.
Sure, absolutely.
So this game, if you lose it, eliminates very, very little. It eliminates being maybe a top 2 team in the country by the end of the year. If this is the only game you lose, you could work your way up into a whole bunch of interesting conversations. But I just thought it was fascinating how he just threw out, the way this team is seeing this game, the way he, as a captain, is seeing this game is your season's going to go, right? They're at a fork in the road. And this Notre Dame game will help decide which side of the fork in the road they take. That's that's not, hey, this game is about this game, go 1-0, focus on what's important now, what's right in front of you. That's taking this game and turning it into something bigger, which is actually against what most people do. Right, because most of the time, hey, you don't want to make it anything more than it is, right? You have 12 games on the schedule, and you're gonna play them all, and this game is about focusing on Notre Dame. No, this is him saying the rest of our season, in some ways, rides on this game. And by the way, it's not an easy task, right? You would love to be like Duke and have our entire season rides on beating Lafayette. They struggled with Sacred Heart last week. That would be one thing. Hey, our entire season rides on this Notre Dame game. They're number 10 in the country, and they have the ACC leader in touchdown passes as their quarterback. Speaking of, Dave Doran talking about Sam Hartman's game and how the old quarterback they know from Wake Forest, Sam Hartman, translates to the new quarterback they're going to be introduced to, the Sam Hartman in Notre Dame.
Third downs when he's dropping back, that translates 2-minute drill. They did a great job in the last game, marching them down the field in a no-huddle offense. So you see his comfort level in those scenarios, which, in that offense he was in before, he was spread out a lot and he was throwing the football a lot. So that's where you see that's the guy we defended all the time. When he's under center, handing off counter and things like that, it's different, But you can see the game management stuff that he has and just how poised he is. And then when he scrambles, you can see his ability to continue moving the chains that way.
The offense is different. That's a big part of why Sam Hartman is there, by the way. He wanted to go play in a pro-style offense to show the pro talent evaluators that he can thrive and succeed in that style of offense. So it's going to be different, but from a mental standpoint, like if you're Tony Gibson and that defense, you're the defensive coordinator, Tony Gibson, and that state defense, you know you can make Sam Hartman look worse against you than he does against other teams because you've done it. When he comes to Carter Finley, he has not been as efficient, as productive, as high-powered as he's been elsewhere in the past. So at the same time, you can say, hey, you look great against Navy. Hey, you looked wonderful against Tennessee State. Hey, all these things are true, but we're going to try to make you look worse than you look against other teams, just like we have in the past. And that's about you. That's not about the offense you're playing in. It's not like you were in a bad offense at Wake Forest. Just maybe have a few, more 4- and 5-star recruits around you at Notre Dame.